What are red flags you didn't notice while dating at a younger age that you see instantly now? So many. Your partner leaves most of the domestic work to you. Falling in love too fast. It takes time, consistency to know someone, and you can't love someone unless you know them. Until then, you just love the idea of them, which isn't real. Having to convince your partner to believe your problem is actually a problem or respect your boundaries. This means they don't care about your feelings and they're not actually behaving like a partner. So many relationship advice questions are: how do I make him understand? You don't. He doesn't care because it doesn't affect him. Constantly accusing me of cheating on him with all my friends. It was never some random person they would accuse me of cheating on them with, it was my best friends, whom aren't my type, and I've known them for too long to ever experience any sort of attraction towards them. All because they wanted me to only talk to them, no one else, and piled on top of that, they were extremely insecure. Funny enough, I caught this person cheating on me with someone they met while in the mental hospital, even though every day I would call every day to check up, and I never once cheated. Sex matters. Don't fool yourself. If it's bad, maybe it's a chemistry thing, or maybe your partner is unwilling to take any type of direction on how to make you happy. It won't get better, and no, you won't be able to get past it. Physical no intimacy, whatever that looks like for you in the relationship you'd like to be in, shape a lot. You and your partner need to both like what you do and how often you do those things or not. It's a red flag if it's a repetitious argument early in a relationship. I have 2 red flags. 1. Having a lot of friends. The bigger the friend circle, the more probable it is that you find a partner in your friend's circle. So if you have 100 friends, but can't find a partner in your circle, means that none of your friends either would date you or suggest you to someone. 2. Manners. Especially waiters and cleaning personnel. If you make room for the cleaning lady to go through, you the best. If you get annoyed that the cleaning lady also has to take the lift, you the worst. There are plenty, but my contribution for this round is my very first gut instinct upon meeting the person, be them sharing stories where they always portray themselves as the hero or victim, and see them being vague and missing key factual details when telling the stories. It's also a red flag if you don't see consistent evidence for what they're telling you. They might say they have lots of friends, but oddly enough you never see them and they always want to spend time with you. I noticed them when I was younger, but was told by literally everyone that I was being dramatic, high maintenance, hysterical, and just a stupid girl. The only difference is that I ignore other people now. Please quit telling girls their instincts and feelings don't matter. In a relationship you are in, your comfort and happiness are kind of all that matter. Otherwise, why are you even in it? Why would you be with someone who makes you uncomfortable or unhappy? There is no valid reason expecting me to make all the compromises. I've moved for men, entirely changing my whole life while not once having one be like, hey, maybe I should be the one to relocate, or we could compromise and move somewhere in the middle. Now it's non-negotiable. If I'm ever in a position where moving is necessary, either we work it out in advance as far as one of us securing a job and the move making sense, or we meet in the middle and keep our jobs and family friends equal distance. Or nothing. First, people who keep a garbage-filled living space are junk. Includes dog shit in the yard, cats on counters and food prep areas, garbage and recycling not immediate taken out, dishes and cutlery that clearly only been rinsed. Not talking about actual hoarders, just dirty people. They're selfish, clueless and lazy, and they'll drag everyone around them down. And being a pig is expensive, so they'll waste your money. Clue to untrained pets or aggressive animals. 1. How quickly they might get attached. When I was a teenager I just thought, awesome, a girl who was really into me. Only like 3 days into dating she was saying she was in love with me. Didn't let go when I should have. 2 weeks in and I was trapped in a nightmare. 2. If any time you're upset about something or want to talk something out, you don't get to talk it out. When you feel like something is wrong or suspicious, you're not allowed to talk about it. If they feel familiar and comfortable right away, beware. My son's father and I were inseparable within weeks. After we split, and months of therapy, I realized he's an emotionally abusive narcissist exactly like my mother. My ex and my mother stayed BFFs for a long time after we split up. They both said there was something wrong with me, that I didn't like it. I'm sure there are healthy relationships that feel right, comfortable from the beginning, but not for me. I met my spouse when I was 22 and he was 30. Due to a combination of factors I skipped 2 grades, so I had my master's degree by then. He graduated into the recession, had to break out of his toxic family. It felt like we were at the same place career-wise. It wasn't until I turned 30 that I realized I was at the beginning of my career when we met. He has just stagnated since. I love him so much, but if I could do this all over, I don't know if I would. Shit-talking your interests, opinions, hobbies, friends, etc. I totally understand that I should have recognized this as a red flag even at a young age, but I got picked on a lot as a kid for being weird, so I just accepted that the stuff I liked wasn't cool and that I needed to change it so I could be liked. I wound up turning myself into a clone of my partner in order to be accepted, and needless to say, that wasn't enough either. If you find yourself making excuses, could be big or small, this is a red flag to me that something isn't right. For example, he's not a man's man in the life of the party, he's ignoring you and doesn't really care if you're there. Or, he's not sensitive and supportive by constantly telling you that he is there for you. He's guilting you into canceling your plans with other people constantly because he needs you to be there too. I don't really like committing to labels. I love you, but I don't feel ready for a relationship. We're basically dating already. Why do you need the title? You can believe whatever you want and date whatever way you want, but I'm never going to accept any of the above phrases ever again. If you can't figure out if you want to officially date me after a month, I'm not wasting my time. I don't want a permanent situationship. Love bombing. I thought when I was younger he was so in love with me because he showers me with compliments then pressures me to label our relationship just only weeks of messaging each other. I said I needed time to think because our situation was his family will migrate to another country and there is no assurance when he will come our situation will be LDR. After 3 months he posted on Sociam that he has a girlfriend. Respect for time. I don't have to date now fortunately, but I can see it when my younger co-workers talk about their dating experiences. Back in my 20s I would accommodate flakiness, but in retrospect the flaky dates and relationships never worked out. I think it's because if someone isn't going to respect your time then they're not going to respect you and also probably not really ready for a relationship. Always being too busy to text, call, show their face on a regular basis. Life gets busy but we all know we make time for the things that matter to us. Totally falls into the vein of if they want to, they will. Even when I'm busy and can't be physically present, I find other ways to be available. If someone can't make themselves available to you a lot of the time it means you're low on the priority list. A person who is nice to you but isn't nice to the waiter, the counter help at the dry cleaners, or just any random person who is in a service position isn't a nice person. If a person has constant drama with their family, friends, employer, the credit card company, the bank, the landlord, the mechanic, and coworkers, then that person is the common denominator in all those problems. When every relationship in their history that ended for them was the other person's fault and they badmouth them and call them names. Not ever, just they were different people, different perspectives, etc. Always their ex is a horrible person and they have no self-awareness of how they want to improve themselves going forward. Does not apply if their ex was actually abusive. The guy that is obsessed with you off the bat, declares love within a few weeks, treats you like princess, needs to be near you constantly. You think he must really love you, my soulmate crap. But really it is just their obsessive personality type. They are a red flag for me now. Because as soon as you want some space or focus on your own life they become unbearable, getting way too into everything you're into. They hear I like Britcoms, they binge 3 series in a week. They hear I like a band, they buy all their albums and a couple shirts. They see me smoke Camels, they pick up the habit. It's flattering to think someone is forming their personality around you, but it's unlikely that you're that special and interesting. Saying I have never wanted a kid with anyone until I met you, we should have one not even a month in. Stating how in love they are 24/7. Using their deceased family as some sort of manipulation to make you understand the love and security you now bring them since the deceased family member left. My ex loved to do this. No self-awareness. If you blame everything and everyone on your own situation, you are a very immature and quite possibly extremely toxic person. Because if I date you, guess who's going to suddenly be the culprit of all of your problems now? Yeah, once I hear a woman start blaming things on their situation, I'm out. Telling me they're glad I'm not eating a lot at dinner. Telling me they can't drive on the date. Telling me about their terrible ex-wife. Having a bare mattress in the living room on the floor to sleep on even though they have a bedroom. Their friends are all hang out and get drunk friends. They're jealous. Someone who lies to appear secure or stable. Just tell the truth. If they don't like it up front they won't like it later. Girls that try to team test guys and vice versa. Girls who use other people as an aphrodisiac, i.e., leading people on and then running them off. Guys who do it are labeled players. Be wary of people who gloss over details that make them look bad. I call it the yada yada principle after Seinfeld. It was a regular occurrence with my ex. My boss got so mad at me today. Why did he get mad? He didn't like where I parked the truck. Where do you park it? I ran over a mailbox. A woman who would not sleep with me until I shaved my very modest beard. I was somehow motivated to shave it. But that demand elaborated into many others: don't go out running in the morning, etc. Finally refused the demand and she broke up with me. Should have heeded the first red flag. Weaponized incompetence. I can quickly spot a man who is unwilling to do his fair share of adult tasks and who thinks that having a job should be his only contribution. In that same vein, I don't need a "but just tell me what I should be doing" partner either. I'm not the task manager for the household. I used to admire ambition in the form of working a lot. I realized these partners were escaping life and often accountability to the relationship, but they couldn't be faulted because ambition. Now, I admire folks with a strong work-life balance. Also learned love bombing is not at all romantic. Too much attempt to please. My ex-girlfriend washed my underwear the first time we spent time together. I was really confused about it but swept it under the rug, because she was super hot. Things ended when we were later in an LDR and I hesitated from a promise of marriage and she cheated. If someone can't say that they want to be with you, just take that for what it is: disinterest, and move on. None of us are gonna be everyone's cup of tea, and I think the sooner that is learned and accepted, the sooner you get closer to actually embodying a kind of grace. Or so I am hoping.